What is going on, buddy?
Hello!
It is Pixbutters here, and welcome back to Virtue's Last Reward. When we left off, what a sight it is.
You were right.
I was right.
Ugh,
We're going
gross.
down the final path to
Right.
justice and understanding everything that's going on here. There are still a lot of questions that we have. Tenmuji's going to answer, hopefully, a lot of them as we keep going.
Or should we say Junpei?
Yes, indeed. Which then does leave the question that I was thinking about recently of, what about us? What about good old Sigma here, who isn't actually probably Sigma because K is Sigma, quote unquote. It's a weird one, but who are we? I believe we are the old man in the hologram that we saw in the office.
You mean Zero?
Zero Senior.
Ha!
I believe so. I remember I pointed out in that artwork that he has a bracelet on.
Yeah.
We never see our face. That's an old man. Everyone calls us old. And he may have robotic arms. But
So you're saying the character art is a lie?
I'm going to double down. The character art is a lie, yes. But I'm going to double down. Zero Senior is your beloved Santa. Why else would he be working so closely with Akane? Unless he was indeed.
So you're saying...
I'm saying we are Santa. The whole time you've been looking for him, he's been right in front of you.
No.
I'm putting that out there right now.
That's ridiculous.
I love getting laughed at. Well, let's get the answers now. So,
fucking ridiculous.
because there's a lot of things we have to. Because why were we cryogenically? I was so lost in thought, I barely noticed Phi's approach.
Hey, Sigma.
So stupid.
Leave me alone,
I
man.
think I figured something out.
See if I figured something out.
He doesn't swear nearly as much.
One popped up on the inside of my helmet with a whisper in the corner. She seemed to be using a circuit only we could hear. Yeah? What is it?
Figured out why there's an extra E.
An extra E? Oh, you mean the graffiti?
Yeah, the one on floor B.
Oh, we're going to get an answer to that?
Ew.
The Memento Mori?
Anagram. Just like on floor A.
Yep. What's Anna say this time?
Damn it, Sigma. Knock it off.
They're literally
Okay.
us.
Glory if the ninth lion ate the sun. If you rearrange the letters, you get... The man on the moon rules the infinite time.
How the fuck did you figure that? I don't think the best part about these is that I don't think anyone ever figured out in a million fucking years what that is.
Oh, no.
Because that's only me get that many letters. Don't have fucking fun. That could equal like 10 different things probably.
You'd have to put it into like a generator online to see what it comes up with.
Yeah.
You need 6 E's to get that. So they stuck an extra one in ninth.
The man on the moon rules the infinite time.
I
Huh.
think it's a message for us from Zero Senior and Akane. Remember what she was telling us?
We created the AB project for one purpose: to transport the consciousnesses of 2 people into the past. Those 2 people are you, Sigma, and you, Phi.
So, what are you getting at?
My God, you're slow. You don't get it?
It's the Radical
They're
Six.
saying we rule the infinite time. Infinite time. They weren't just talking about having us jump a couple hours. I think they're planning to send us back. Way back.
Well, wait a minute.
Hey, wasn't this your theory?
Are you saying you think they're going to send us back 45 years?
I'd bet on it.
Finally, please do it.
Wasn't this your theory?
So the ultimate purpose of the AB project is to send us back in time to that catastrophe Tenmyoji was talking
I
about?
think so.
That doesn't make sense, though. I mean, we came from that same time period before it, actually. So why bring us here and then send us back?
Well, Akane should be able to tell us the rest. Let's go pay her a visit.
Do you know where she is?
I've got an idea.
Back
on.
home.
Think.
Mr. Krabs.
Remember what she said
I
when
have
she
an
gave you the
idea.
key?
Tu fui ego eris.
That's right.
The Eggo Waffles. Oh, god damn it. Hey, can we go back in? I forgot that's a thing. Grief. The one in the garden.
Well, come on. What are you waiting for?
I thought I heard
Let's
that
go.
somewhere. I wasn't just
Wait,
hallucinating.
What? How does this... We turned and ran back into the pressure exchange chamber. The others following close behind. Sorry, Kay.
What are you doing? Did you forget something?
We're gonna go have a talk with somebody.
Oh,
You really need me to spell it out? Person behind all
you mean
this.
Akane?
What?
I'll take that as a yes.
But what?
Let me accompany you then.
Huh?
I mean, that shows that he knows.
Yeah.
He was one of the ones that told us a memory for the computer along with
Yeah.
Luna. So that makes sense.
Wait. Why do you know about Akane?
I'll tell you when we get there. Now, if you please.
Kay, are you my son? What? Oh, please. Please. Son!
I'm coming with you. You folks just said the magic word.
I'm going to then. So am I.
Okay.
Hey, is this Akane you're talking about?
Yeah, you know her real well.
Wait, you're serious?
Are we going to answer the time discrepancy of why you're young and you're old?
What is going on?
Shut up. Just shut up. Come if you want to. We don't need to do a roll call. Once we get there, Akane can explain everything. With that, we headed back through the airlock. I wanna, like... So is the number 9 door just open whenever you want from the outside? Because technically, the number 9 door will never open again. Please enjoy your stay, Dio. We'll go check and see how he's doing.
We just walk in, he runs up and stabs us. He's just waiting by the door with a knife.
So, like, we could just go back in as I said farewell last time forever, and we're just going right back in? Okay.
It's different now because we're omniscient.
Ah, clever. The number 9 door on floor A is shut forever once the game ends. Assuming Zero Jr. was telling the truth, of course. But the door on floor B...
Oh, the one that's
Thought we
not
might be able to
painted
take
on.
the lift to it, and it looks like I was right.
Oh,
Any idea
well,
where
handy.
Akane might be?
We all can just get out through there. That doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, the grave.
You mean the grave in the garden?
Yeah, I know, yeah. Don't worry. I don't think she's buried there or anything. Chances are she's alive. Just in the grave. In a box. Alive and dead. Anyway, just let's move to the garden. Going New York City to the garden of squares named Madison.
Christ.
All right. Show me the money. Excellent. There it is.
Yeah.
Forgot about you, old friend.
Is Akane really
Oh
under
yeah,
here?
the keyhole thing.
Uh-huh. I think so.
What should we do? Are we gonna dig her out?
No, I don't think we'll have to do anything like that. You see the keyhole on the grave? If I just insert this here. When the hell did you get that? Pulled the key off my ankle and fit into the hole. Twisted it to the right until I heard something unlock. With a quiet grinding, the grave began to shift. It's a secret room.
Oh.
What is this? It doesn't look like a coffin.
Yeah. It's a treatment pod.
Oh my god. It is, isn't it?
The glass on the cover had frosted over, making it opaque. We couldn't see who or what was in it.
Let's see what's inside.
She grabbed the hold of the lever on the side of the pod.
No good. I think it's locked.
What?
What?
Treatment pod TP00. Stage 1 defrosting complete.
Ah.
Stage 2 will be complete in 10 minutes.
Well, we've got 10 minutes to
Once
talk, I guess.
Stage
2 is complete, the lock will automatically disengage.
Now, is it going to be old Akane or young Akane?
Right. Cold. Well, I mean, it would have to be old, I would think, because the game was created by old. That would fucking destroy me if it's young. I would lose.
That's why I'm preparing for it.
I wouldn't understand anything. It has to be old. Right. Cold sleep. Put the old in cold sleep, please.
What?
These pods can put people into cold sleep. It uses something called CAS to freeze human bodies without destroying their cells.
Ms. Akane's like an ice cube?
I think so.
And we gotta wait till she melts?
Yeah. For lack of a better
So
term.
how about you tell us your story while we wait, Kay? Specifically, why do you know Akane?
I remembered
What do you remember?
everything. I was born and raised in this facility. It's called Rhizome 9. A rhizome is an underground plant stem that spreads by sending out roots. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? This facility is a little like a rhizome. Supposedly, that's why they call these installations that. The number comes from the facility's number. There are 54 rhizomes on the moon, and this is the 9th one.
Oh my god.
Well, I suppose the other ones don't really matter to you, do they? In any event, I grew up here with Akane and Zero Senior. I watched them create the AB project.
The AB project?
Yes. Its purpose is to send Phi and Sigma, or their consciousnesses at least, to the past.
Back 45 years, right?
Yes.
So, you want us to change history, huh?
You called that.
Go back and keep Radical 6 from
Yep.
getting out.
Let's go!
And stop the reactors from exploding.
I was smart!
That's our mission?
Well, not exactly.
Oh, no, I wasn't smart. What do you mean? Please tell me it's not another Akane self-fulfilling moment, please.
It's true that the ultimate goal of the project is to keep Radical 6 from spreading to the general population. But even if you do make it back, you won't be able to do much. By now, it's already too late.
Too late?
What do you mean?
Let me begin at the beginning.
That's what I would hope most stories are.
You might be thinking that Zero Senior and Akane were the ones who created all this, but that's not entirely correct. They only followed the histories they'd already seen. It was the only choice they had. Nothing less than the future of mankind is at stake. We need the two of you to jump through timelines while maintaining your memories. That is why you had to play the AB game, and why the chromatic doors were necessary. By forcing multiple options, you could make numerous jumps. We speculated that jumping more would strengthen your memories. The puzzles were also there for a purpose. Some theories hold that a moment of insight when you solve a puzzle strengthens your connection to the fourth dimension. That was the reason for the puzzles.
Okay.
Your infection with Radical 6 was also a vital part of our plan. By slowing down your brain's processing speed, we can store your potential. With that energy stored up, we just had to provide a life or death situation to launch your consciousness into the fourth dimension. Like a bullet from a slingshot.
I've heard this 10,000 times.
Wait, hold on just a minute here. You keep talking about Sigma and Phi, but what about the rest of us? Why did you bring us here?
That's simple. In earlier histories, you were all here in Rhizome 9. We needed you here to accurately replicate those histories. Although I suppose that's probably not a good enough explanation for you. In a sense, though, it is the truth. Our primary goal was to replicate history. The rest is... Yes, I suppose I should explain.
Yes, please.
Very well. I will try and do so in a way you can understand.
Oh, yes.
First, Alice and Clover. They were abducted 45 years and 1 month ago, on December 22nd, 2028.
Yes, now we bring... How does this
The
all...
location is Earth, of course. More specifically, Los Angeles, California.
And why were they abducted before anything happened?
Yes.
Yeah.
After being kidnapped, your bodies were sent to a facility under Akane's direction. You were placed in treatment pods and immediately put into cold sleep. 4 months later, you arrived at this facility. The date you finally arrived was April 14th, 2029. Your trip from Earth to this facility was aboard a spaceship powered by an annihilation engine. Following your arrival, your pods were placed in long-term storage. Does that make sense?
Are you telling me We were sleeping in those pods here for 45 years?
God
Yes.
damn.
Yes, in preparation for this day.
But why? What do you need us for?
You are an Esper, aren't you, Clover? I mean that you are able to access the fourth dimension. Am I wrong?
Did Akane tell you?
In a manner of speaking. As I've already
Is my older
explained,
brother still
the purpose
alive?
of this project is to send Sigma and Phi's consciousnesses to the past.
Does he know?
Espers are able to sort of resonate with one another, which can amplify their power. You understand? This is why we brought you here, Clover.
What about
What
Alice?
about me?
Yeah.
We needed your help, Alice, to deactivate Dio's bombs.
Oh.
But
The-
I didn't do anything.
The math was an
But
experience.
you did. In another history, you were able to perform a prime decomposition
Yep.
on the 25-digit integer that Dio left behind. Only you could do that sort of thing.
Because you're
Because
weird.
of your feat in mathematics, we were about to determine that Dio had planted the bombs. Then we were able to question him and get the password for the number 31. Finally, we used that information to stop the bomb in this timeline. Without your help, Alice, we would have been reduced to nothing more than so much space dust. This history exists because of your presence. Now, let me explain why we needed Tenmyoji and Quark. Tenmyoji is simple. We needed you for the same reason we needed Clover. You are able to access the fourth dimension. Almost half a century ago, you used that ability to save a young girl, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, wonder who that is.
We needed you to resonate with Sigma and Phi. So we brought you here. All it took was a messenger.
Do you want to see Akane? If you do, come with me. I was a fool and fell for it.
And you
Simp.
brought Quark with you. In fact, you insisted that he come.
Yeah, I know. I guess you were worried about leaving me alone, huh?
It was a deal Zero was trying to
He
make,
kept
right?
saying he couldn't run off to the moon and leave me behind.
I'm sorry, Quark. If I hadn't been so stupid and selfish, none of this would have happened to you. I never thought this would happen. Can you ever forgive me?
Oh, don't worry about it. I mean, I agreed to come with you. I thought the moon would be way more interesting than boring old Earth. What kid would turn that down?
We didn't see the messenger after we got on the ship. It
He's
was on
really
autopilot.
cavalier about all this.
Yeah.
As soon as we got in, I headed straight for the moon. During the trip, Zero told me to keep quiet once we got there. I don't remember anything after we landed.
Yeah, everyone's just like, we're on the moon. What the fuck? He's like, oh wow, Earth looks cool up there.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Then there was a bunch of that white smoke, and we passed out, and when I woke up, I was in the AB room.
Now, Dio.
well, we know
His
that
real
one.
name is Left, and he's the leader of a terrorist organization called the Myrmidons.
Myrmidon.
He was ordered to come here. The Myrmidons are under the control of an organization called Free the Soul,
Yeah.
which is in turn controlled by a man known as Brother.
Yeah.
It was Brother who orchestrated the release of Radical 6 into the general population 45 years ago. Do you remember what Phi mentioned earlier? The ultimate purpose of the AB project is to change history and keep Radical 6 from being released. If we succeed, that would be bad for Brother and his organization. Our success would prevent them from creating the ideal world they're working toward. That is why Brother sent Left, his trusted lieutenant, to this facility. They needed to stop the AB project.
That makes sense now.
Yeah.
So, Dio was given two tasks. The first was to eliminate Akane, the architect of the AB project. The second was to join the AB game and win it. If Dio won the game, the AB project would not be completed, at least not in that timeline. In other words, in that world, the project would have been stopped. If things didn't go as planned, Dio was given a contingency plan. If you
Bombs!
cannot murder Akane and win the game, destroy Rhizome 9. Hence, the bombs.
Yep.
Can I ask you something?
Perhaps.
What did Brother know about the AB project?
He
Yeah, that's
was
a good
also
question.
an Esper.
Oh.
Okay.
We can set Brother aside for now, though. May I proceed?
He really treated her like a speed bump.
No one objected. We were all curious.
Excellent. That explains everyone, save two. Luna and myself.
Well, Luna, we got the
Sigma and
answer
Phi
for.
already know the truth about Luna.
Uh-huh.
I don't believe I should reveal any more, however. I think it would be more appropriate if you could ask Luna yourselves at a later time. Would that be all right with you, Luna?
Yes, that's okay.
I'll explain to everyone I'm a robot.
As for me, as I said before, I was born and raised here. The rest of you were brought to this facility, but I've never left. That makes me someone close to Zero Senior and Akane.
Hey, I've been wondering, who is Zero Senior?
You've already met him, Sigma, in another timeline.
Yep. Well, I saw a hologram. Still don't know who he is.
Stage 2 is complete. TP00 unlocking.
Toilet
Meanwhile,
paper.
Kay is laughing like, tee hee hee. If only you knew, Sigma.
It looks like it's finished. Shall we open the pod?
Of course, it finishes before I can question my life choices.
Yep. Well, it was
Yeah,
only
let's
10
do it.
minutes, so.
True, and he was going for more than that.
Yeah. He was already generous to us.
All of us gathered around the pod. The glass was still covered with frost, hiding the contents.
Okay, let's get started then. Ready?
I laid her hand on the lever and looked around at us. I swallowed. Yeah, anytime.
All right, here we go.
Be funny if she did
3,
a countdown. Yes!
2, 1.
Yes!
Oh, what the hell? You took my thing! Oh.
She did exactly what I wanted her to do. Right when I said it. What is it? Ah, interesting.
Oh, well, that's definitely not what I was thinking. That. What? What? Suddenly my head was full of memories from other timelines.
There's 3 now.
I'd seen something like this before. The warehouse of floor B. In front of the white door. Kay was lying in front of me. Grabbed his mask and saw my own face. Never figured out who he really was. Why was there a man with my face underneath Kay's armor? It didn't make sense. After I'd seen him, I was injected with tuberculine, and that was the end of that. But wait, the person in the pod was the same person I'd seen on the floor of the warehouse.
And who the fuck is this?
Who was wearing Kay's armor?
You finally noticed. Didn't I tell you? You won't be alone. I will be at your side, watching over you.
No. Oh my god. Oh my god,
Yes, I am.
Well, you're not my
Akane
best friend.
Kuroshiki.
What?
You're not my best friend.
It's you. June. I mean, Akane from... But you're old. Yes, that's correct.
What an
I
observation.
haven't spoken to you in a very long time, Clover.
You're
Or
old.
you, Junpei.
Yep,
There it is.
Name drop.
Junpei?
She's like, what?
Kane,
You're old too.
long time no see.
I could barely hear what they were saying. My mind was still reeling. Felt like all the air had been knocked out of me, and it was all I could do to not collapse right then and there.
When? How long?
Do you remember when the two of you saved me in the warehouse?
How could
That
I
was
forget?
awesome. That was so awesome.
Once you saved me, you went back to your future. Well, your minds did at least. I carried your bodies to the 3rd AB room and then took Dio's to the 5th. After that, I went into the 1st room and borrowed Kay's armor.
So by the time you and Clover came out, you'd already...
Yes.
Wait. That doesn't make any sense. Dio killed you. And then Luna took your body to the 6th room. You couldn't have been in Kay's armor.
No, it was me. In this timeline, at least. In this one, I wasn't murdered by Dio. You two saved me.
Yeah,
It's just
fair.
like Schrodinger's cat. Your
Schrodinger.
actions in the future
Yeah.
decided who would be inside the armor in the past.
Dingy cat.
What? No, that's nuts.
Alright, what about the other history? The one where you weren't saved. What happens then? Who's wearing the armor?
That's quite simple. The man in front of you.
Him?
That's correct.
Okay.
Whenever I'm not in the armor, he is.
But why is he in cryosleep right now?
Yeah.
What about the memory loss?
For my part, I confess that I lied.
The
He, on the other hand, was telling the truth. Large doses of soporil can cause memory loss. I gave him a rather large dose.
damn.
So, who is he?
You've never seen him before?
No.
What about the rest of you?
I have no idea who he is.
I've never seen him before.
What?
Me either.
Wait.
Total stranger.
What? What?
Guys, but it's
What?
me. Hey, come on. What are you guys saying? Right here? Same face? Guys?
Are you all right, Mr. Sigma?
Guys?
Did you hit your head or something?
Guys? Huh? What? It didn't make any sense. Why didn't they recognize me?
Sigma, your consciousness can jump through time. You can inhabit your body in the past or in the future.
What does that mean?
Don't you get it? You've jumped to the future. From 45 years ago.
I looked around frantically. A pond. I ran to it and threw myself down onto my knees.
When will my reflection?
Crawling on all fours, I approached the edge. My heart was hammering inside my chest. A cold sweat trickled down my spine. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down, damn it. I took a deep breaths. And slowly,
It's like we're 20 something. We're 20
slowly,
something. We're 20 something. We're 20.
I peered
Can you
into the
imagine?
pond, looking for my reflection.
Whoa.
What? No. This can't be real. His face.
It's your face, Dr. Sigma Climb. Although to the you that's behind it now, it's your face 45 years from now.
Who the fuck Sigma Climb? Sigma what, dude? I got my final one in.
Mind of the AB project is you.
What? No, that's not possible. That's bullshit.
No, it's the truth. Fighting it isn't going to do you any good.
You're not Santa.
Please, Doctor.
I'm not a doctor.
You will be a pioneer in the field of genetic engineering.
You will be?
You're lying.
No, I'm not. You created him. Well, I suppose I should say you are going to create him.
What?
Create.
His name is Kyle Climb.
Huh.
Your clone. That is why he looks just like a younger version of yourself.
And that's why he thought
23
K
years
sounded
ago,
right.
Yeah.
In the biolab here in Rhizome 9, you created Kyle. Well, I suppose for you, that's still in the future. When I said I was born and raised here, I was still pretending to be him. The gravity here is only 1/6 of Earth's. If nothing was done, the reduced gravity would cause his bones to be weaker than normal human ones. But you prepared for that. You gave him that armor. Ever since he was born, he's lived inside of it.
Damn.
It kept his muscles and bones strong. He wasn't forced into it for the nonary game. He's been wearing it every day, all his life.
But why would future me create a clone?
He was to be your spare. If something happened to you before the project began, He would take your place.
So his backstory dump was talking about us.
I mentioned before that the AB projects A and B stood for after and before. That isn't all they mean, though.
The after comes before the before.
The A also means anima, and the B means body. Anima is another word for the soul or the consciousness. Body is, well, exactly what it says on the tin. The past consciousness will go into the future body, and the future consciousness will go into the past body. They switch.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So
I'm trying to follow. It's
so the reason why she
My
keeps
brain
talking
hurts.
the reason why she keeps talking about like the future you will do this and that is because we are
I have a headache.
we are conscious of Sigma from the past, or I guess Dr. Klim. I hate that. Yeah, Climb. Our two consciousnesses have switched. So what I think is going to happen, ironically, of why I was talking about the AB project requiring how it's like, oh, we're going to go back to save. That's why I think when Kay was like, it's like, we're going to go back and save the past, how Kay, but it was Akane, was like, not quite. Because we are the young Sigma, fresh out of college, that switched to the future, while the future Doctor switched to the past.
Is in college Sigma's body?
Is in college Sigma's body, with the knowledge of everything. So literally, that Doctor is going to go change the past, while we're fucked and stuck here. Akane, once again, pulling the chess moves to fuck up people's lives.
That was the chief goal of the project.
Oh wait, so the
well, I mean, she's not the only person. He did it to himself, too.
Yeah, but like but the irony is like our consciousness, is fucked forever. So the future person goes into the past
Sigma,
person.
Do you remember the note you found in the garden?
You mean this, right?
Yes.
All this.
Hey, Rise on
Ah. Of course, it was you who investigated the garden in this timeline.
Yeah.
Sigma, take a good look at this. It's an illustration of the time jumps your consciousness is making.
Oh my god. That's a lot different from a map of the moon bases and stuff.
Yeah.
So he went from A and all the way to B. Okay, well.
A is where everything began.
Good old
December
days.
25th, 2028. You inhaled the white smoke in your car and lost consciousness. From there, you jumped to B. January 25th, 2074.
Oh, wow.
You woke up in one of the AB rooms in Rhizome 9. You are in your own body, but it is 67 years old. Your consciousness has jumped 45 years into the future.
You also had a horrible lab experiment and your arms blew off of your body, so you had to build new ones.
I believe that may explain why you didn't notice the reduced lunar gravity. The body you woke up in was much older. Normally, you would have noticed that your muscles were much weaker. In this case, however, the lower gravity balanced that out. Moving on, if you continue along this line, what happens next? You reach
So we go to
C,
C.
which is January 27th, 2074. That is today.
Whoa. Wait, what do you mean? Are you saying it's been 2 days since we woke up?
Our Radical 6 moon time slower, baby.
Yeah.
36 hours to be exact.
I think I was going to try and mention last time as I was going along of like, time for us would have had to be different to match our watches because
Yeah.
it would have to scale appropriately.
Have you
So
already forgotten? You were all infected with Radical 6. The virus slowed your brain down.
are you going to
Fix that.
cure us? Or are we all just going to be doomed to commit suicide one day for your
Yeah,
project?
that's kind of a thing.
Once again, Akane, you're bringing everyone down with you.
So yes, 36 hours of real time have passed. But to you, it only seemed like 14 hours and 40 minutes.
Damn.
Now comes the important part.
Yeah, now what the fuck's
After
happening? We're
this,
going to D?
Your consciousness will return to the past. It will re-emerge at point D. April 13th, 2029.
That's the big day.
You will return to your younger body.
But that's the same day as the reactor explosions.
Yes. That is why I said it will be too late. You will return to the past, but the events you would want to prevent will have already happened.
Then what's the point?
Well, hold on, let her cook.
The story does not end there, however. The line continues. After reaching point D, you will eventually return to B. But this time, you won't be jumping through time, or at least not at a rate faster than normal. Your consciousness will spend 45 years inhabiting the same body until you reach point B.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember when B is, Sigma?
January 25th, 2074. According to what you just told us, it's 36 hours ago.
Correct. That was when the consciousness of the 22-year-old Sigma jumped into the body of 67-year-old Sigma.
Yeah, see, put it like that. That's easier
So
to...
where did the older version of you go when you took his body?
Point A, December 25th, 2028. The day all of this started.
Yes. His consciousness will go back in time 45 years. For a period of time, he will inhabit your younger body. While your younger consciousness is elsewhere, he will be you in the past.
But once that body reaches point D, my 22-year-old consciousness will come back from point C.
That's correct. When that happens, the older version of you will be ejected from your younger body and return to your body at C.
Oh, let's go! So it's rotating?
Rotating. I suppose you could put it that way. But look at this illustration closely. What if you take all these lines and untangle them? You get one single line. It may look complicated, but in truth, it's a single straight path, with one exception.
Yeah, there's the bit there that's on E, the red
Yeah.
dot. The sign here at point E, right?
Exactly. Point E is December 31st, 2028, the day of the total eclipse.
The day Radical 6 got out of the test facility.
Yes. By now, you've likely figured it out on your own. The purpose of the AB project was to get the consciousness of the 67-year-old Sigma from point B to point A. If we can do that, we can change what happened 45 years ago.
So the old version of me will keep Radical 6 from getting out by jumping into my 22-year-old body on New Year's Eve 2028?
Yes. That is why this line could not be interrupted. In order for the 67-year-old version of you to reach point B, we first have to go through point D. In order to get to point D, we must jump from point C. And for point C to happen, we had to recreate everything that happened in this facility. That is why we have faithfully retraced history up to this point. So that we might save humankind from destruction and undo the horrors of the last 45 years.
Did it work?
Yeah.
Did it work?
Did it work?
Tell me one thing.
What is that?
I mean, I'm sure I could ask 10 things. Tell me one thing. You said that point C is January 27th, 2074, which is today. There's going to be a jump, and I'll jump to April 13th, 2029.
Yes, that's right.
But, like, look, I'm still old. When is this jump supposed to happen?
Very soon.
Soon?
Yes.
And what's going to trigger it?
We need potential energy stored to send your consciousness into the fourth dimension. Fortunately, we now have plenty of that. Thanks, ironically, to Radical 6. All that remains is to launch your consciousness. Like a bullet from a slingshot.
And how do you propose to do that?
Didn't I tell you? A crisis. A moment balanced between life and death.
You gonna try to kill us?
That can jumpstart your brain.
What do you mean?
You haven't figured it out.
Huh?
I mean this.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Dio's knife? No sooner were the words out of my mouth. Okay, stop it. Wait. Oh! Fight! I screamed and leapt toward them. Akane was already in motion, the knife diving toward Phi's chest. I was almost there. Bitch!
Ah.
When I regained consciousness, I was on the floor. There was a dull pain in my chest. It felt for a cut, but something was in the way. It took me a moment to realize that it was Akane's body, lying on top of me. I twisted my neck to look around. Nearby was an old tombstone. On it was written a few words in Latin. Tu fui ego eris. What you are, I was. What I am, you will be. Interesting. Now it all makes sense.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
Huh. Because actually I'm just going on that time. Are we going to get a nice Marvel post-credits scene? There's still a lot going on in my head. Like, what about everyone else? Are they just going to stand there? Are they going to take a nice little rocket ship back home?
Yeah. Like, what? What about Clover's brother? What is
Oh, man.
Is he alive? Why does she not? Why is Clover not concerned about that? Why she's just like, oh, why am I here? Not where? It's been this long. What happened to my brother?
Brain empty, only Alice. Okay,
That's true.
That's all that matters anymore.
That's true.
Yeah, interesting. I feel like I guess there's reasons for it, but the timeline, I don't even want to call it a circle that we had at there that we were following of like the various jumps that are having to be made with real Sigma. I feel like it could have been simplified a little bit, but I think hopefully if there's more to it, we'll get more from that as to figuring out like what'll happen when our jump loops. Ooh. And we go back to being young.
All right, it's a bop now.
I wonder, does that mean that, and it is a bop now, does that mean that Sigma's consciousness is always looping, or is the loop almost done? Now that it's technically been broken in a way, now that the timeline is opened up?
That's a great question. Hey, right there.
Oi! Oi, bruv! Miss you. You're right here, though, still. Miss you. You're still here. Everyone's still here. I'll let the credits play one last time, just in case. But it looks like they're almost done, because they're already on the thanks and additional thanks. And hopefully get a little bit more answers. Supervisors. I thought it was going to be done, but it's gone on to more of the team. God damn it. Okay. Oh, Akane, what have you been cooking, you absolute mad lad?
Absolute mad lad. The fire.
A new destination been added to the flowchart. So I'm gonna throw one right on time after time. Throw a save right down there.
Right. I was gonna say over his face, but it's still there.
Oh, we're back even way back win now?
Christ.
When's this one? Oh, headquarters.
Huh.
2029. The big day.
I see a TV.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry.
Today is April 13th, 2029, and this is the evening news. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. I don't have any news to read. All of our station's reporters have passed after contracting Radical 6. So have my... Excuse me.
Jesus Christ.
I've managed to keep us on the air until now. But I'm out of tricks. It's time for me to sign off. This concludes our broadcast day. I pray that someday our world can be cleansed of this horrible plague. Goodbye.
Oh, God damn.
For a moment, I just stared at the TV.
Holy shit.
The roar of the static seemed to fill the entire room until with a click it disappeared too. Had the power gone out?
Nope.
I heard footsteps behind me and turned around.
Huh.
You!
Ah!
Akane?
It looks like the first step was successful.
Oh, whiplash for a second there. Okay. What the fuck? You killed me!
Killed?
I guess technically you're going to kill me 45 years from now, but still.
Hey, no need to be rude about it. I didn't kill you. I hit you with the butt of the knife. You're fine.
I'm okay?
Yes. You and Phi needed to experience a state of crisis. That was the only way.
You know what? This creates a... We didn't even get the answer to that. What about Phi's role? So we have our role of going back and forth. What about Phi needed to go back? We needed to get that. And that was her ending that we got. That was the Phi and immediate answer for. Me and Phi?
Yes. I only told you about you, but we also needed Phi to jump. Now, you know what happens next, right?
We go to the moon?
Correct. We will be leaving tomorrow, April 14th, 2029. We've nearly finished preparing your shuttle. Only a few last-minute checks and additions. You'll be traveling to Rhizome 9, along with 3 treatment pods.
Alice and Clover, right?
Yes.
What about the third one? Who's in there?
Phi. We put her into cold sleep 2 days ago. She appeared at our headquarters and volunteered to be frozen.
Oh.
That wasn't the Phi who jumped from point C, though. It was Phi before she jumped from point A to point D. In other words, she was following the same path you are. And she still is.
Then that means that after you froze her, the point C version of her jumped back into her body?
Yes. The point C version of Phi is sleeping in that pod. She'll stay there for the next 45 years, sleeping in ice.
All ice? Okay. Then when she gets to point B, her consciousness will jump to point A, right?
Correct.
Uh-huh. So that's why she didn't look old. So why don't you just stick me in one of those pods?
You can't do that.
Why not?
You haven't figured it out? You have to spend the next 45 years working on the AB project. After arriving at Rhizome 9, you must master genetic engineering
God.
and artificial intelligence programming, among other disciplines. Otherwise, you will be unable to create Kyle, Luna, and Lagomorph.
Bitch, I'm an arts major.
And, of course, you will need to develop the chromatic doors and the bracelets. You will also be the person who summons Tenmyoji and Quark. Once you've completed all the preparations, then the project can actually begin. January 25th, 2074.
Can you imagine having your major forced upon you by the fate of the world?
You will defrost Phi and carry her to the 3rd AB room. Once you've done that, the 22-year-old version of you from point A will force you out. And you'll just go back 45 years to your own body on December 25th, 2028.
And then I change history? Do you really think I can keep the virus from getting out?
You have to. If you don't, billions of people will die.
Gee, thanks for the vote of confidence.
Only you and Phi can save them.
What about you? Aren't you an Esper too?
I can't do anything on my own. If this is going to work, I'll need your help.
Huh. So, what do I need to do?
What do you mean?
Like, what specific actions do I need to take? When Phi and I jump to point A, what are we going to do then?
We'll both enter the Mars mission test site.
And after that?
I don't know.
What?
I'm sorry. I really don't know anything about what happens in there. We don't know how the Radical Six escaped. We don't even know why it was there in the first place.
Oh, crap. Then we're screwed.
That's why we need your help. You have the ability to jump through time and across parallel worlds. We need you to figure out what happened in that test facility. Things will be difficult, and I'm sure you will find yourself in a great deal of danger. But I believe the two of you can overcome any obstacle.
Wait. How do you know it's so dangerous?
The 67-year-old version of you told me what happened. He wasn't able to stop the virus. So I suppose you could say you told me after you failed.
What did I say?
The test facility is full of traps. There was one point, a woman's life was in danger. You risked yourself for her sake and lost your arms and your right eye.
Ah.
Oh. My arm's in my right eye.
That explains that.
Oh what the hell? Suddenly a little rumble shook the building. Oops. It was me. My anger exploded the world.
Looks like he's gonna have to invent the, what is it? the ATC? Is that what it's called?
Something like that. What was that?
Go have a look.
I moved slowly to the window and peered outside.
Well.
On the horizon, I could see a massive mushroom cloud climbing slowly toward the sky.
That's terrifying.
Would we really be able to change the course of history? No, that was the wrong way to look at it. It couldn't be a question. I had to change history. We could save the world. I'm going to change history. I stared at the darkening skies above us and steeled myself. I would succeed.
Dude, I'd be having a panic attack. I wouldn't be able to save humanity.
Oh, bro, there's a lot there. End or beginning? Oh my god, Stippy. No, stop that. Thank you. Fuck it, I'll throw another save down there.
Okay.
Is there anything else?
Oh god. Is there?
I don't think so. So I think there's a bonus non-canon scene that I get if I decide to get all the files, even though I thought, listen, everything's all confused now unless I can back out to the main menu. Is that how things work now? Wait! Aha! Aha! Take it, internet! All right. Ugh. Or is this just the beginning of the game?
I don't know.
Wait, because I think this is just how the game starts, because that's how it always works. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. Damn it. Feels like it. Yeah, I think it just takes me to the start of the game, because that's what it does when I leave the timeline like that. It just goes to the start.
Damn.
Oh, well, I guess the audience is going to be real mad at me when I don't have that. And they're like, oh, go back and get the files. And I'm like, oh, well, I don't know if I want to do that. So, unless there's anything else around here. Fine. Did you have anything beyond you over there? Or... Oh. Wait.
Another time. In the infirmary.
Then we can talk about things. But let's see what this is. They try to hide it from me. It is I, 67.
Wife!
Oh,
whoa.
What?
I see you've finally woken up, Kyle.
Kyle?
Oh.
Ah, yes. Of course. You've only just woken up in this timeline. It's only natural for some of your memories to be missing.
I lurched upright, jumped off the bed, and ran around to the other side of the partition.
I mean, same voice.
The mirror over the sink was covered with a film of dirt.
So you don't have to change it.
Yeah. I wiped it off with my sleeve, and my reflection stared back at me. There was no mistake. The reflection belonged to...
Kyle Climb. So, I'm Dr. Climb? Zero Senior's clone?
What? How do you know that? Shouldn't you still be suffering from amnesia?
An excellent question, one I didn't quite know the answer to myself. I knew who Kyle Klim was.
Climb.
Fuck. It's so weird. Another history, he had been called K and had worn a suit of armor.
So it's confirmed that armor is what makes the voice.
Yeah, he hadn't just worn the armor in that history, though. Apparently he'd worn it all his life.
So that was accurate. Oh my
Kyle had been
god.
born and raised in his lunar installation, which seemed to be called Rhizome 9, and it's adorable.
Was accurate.
Rather late in his life, Akane had appeared as a mother figure, and he had consequently grown very attached to her. I knew everything about him, but even though I knew it, I didn't feel it. Was I really Kyle Klim?
Climb.
Fuck. Every time I looked in the mirror, I saw his face. The spitting image of Sigma Klim.
Climb.
Fuck,
Holy
I'm so
shit,
broken.
Evan.
In his younger days.
Just think about climbing.
In his younger days. I looked down.
Literally
Where's
2
Dio?
seconds later, you see her.
Still handcuffed.
Oh.
Turn back around to Luna.
What day is today?
January 27th, 2074.
And today is the last day of the AB project. Akane has explained everything in the garden. And she drew a knife and attacked Phi. How long have I been asleep?
About 5 hours in real time. For them, it would have seemed like a little more than 2 hours.
So they still haven't been treated for their Radical 6?
No, they've all been given the antiviral. It just takes a while to have an effect.
I see. So the consciousness of the younger Sigma has gone back into the past. It should have happened right after Akane attacked Phi, right?
Yes.
Why am I here?
The doctor carried you back here. You were in the pod in the garden.
So the person you call the doctor is Sigma Climb, as inhabited by his age-appropriate consciousness.
Yes, but how do you know that?
Maybe we inherited the
Dio
memories.
seems to have remained unconscious.
And by we, I mean Kyle.
Did cloning create a massive problem you didn't account for? And it's like, wait, there's another vector for the consciousness to attach to.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yes. I've been administering Soparil whenever he gets restless.
Just keeping his ass out.
Man.
They've all gone off to different areas.
Oh, he's-
Yoji and Clark, for instance.
He's gonna forget who he is and where he is because all this Soparil.
Oh, fuck. Oh,
we can
God.
reform him. Perfect.
Right. Mr. Climb.
So the sleepyhead's finally up, huh?
What are you two doing here?
You don't know where we are?
This is the upper floor of the pressure exchange chamber. The real one.
Mm-hmm.
We were just about to get dressed and head out.
You plan to return then? To Earth, I mean.
Yeah.
Sigma told us where we could find the shuttle that brought us here. Well, guess he's not really the Sigma I knew anymore. He's Dr. Klein now, or Zero Senior, depending on how you look at it.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Well, I'm just curious why you would choose to return to a devastated planet when you could stay here.
How's staying here gonna help? You aren't gonna say something idiotic about how we should wait here until Sigma changes the past, are you? You can't wait for something that's already happened. Grammar doesn't work that way. Hell, nature doesn't work that way. You following me? We've already lived through history. Sigma failed to keep the virus from getting out. About 45 years ago, Radical 6 created a pandemic, and the antimatter reactors blew up. That all happened. Whatever Sigma does in the past, history's not gonna change.
It changes for a different timeline than Miyoji, but hey, you know what?
Fact, it's because of what he did or didn't do in the past that we've got this past and present.
I mean, what?
Let me give you an example.
What he's saying right now is what you always say about time travel.
Yeah, like the only way that the answer that they're going for works is the fact that if our fine doctor here is able to change things, that, you know, it would create a new branch of history.
Yeah.
So everyone else is still righteously fucked.
Oh, yeah.
But it offers up a new history for different people and different consciousness that can't transfer back and forth between them to have. But then because of the conscious transferring, Akane and the doctor and Fogg is like, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to the happy ending. You all, there's a version of you that lives on happily ever after. Have fun.
Imagine a group of 100 motorcycles driving down an endless freeway. Eventually, they hit a junction. The road splits in two. One freeway continues off northwest, and the other stretches out to the northeast.
I think he's saying exactly what I said.
So one guy, we'll call him S, pipes up.
Sigma?
Let's go northwest, he says. So they take the northwestern road, but about a mile past the intersection, something horrible happens. A semi driving the other way veers into their lane and plows through the bikers.
Jesus, okay.
3 of them die. The surviving 10 are wounded, but survive. They don't stop, though. They keep riding down that highway, and eventually they'd gone 10,000 miles. Then suddenly, something happens that they couldn't have predicted. S, who had survived, suddenly has his consciousness thrown back in time. He ends up back in his own body just before they reach the junction. He remembers everything. So what does S do? What anybody would do. Let's go northeast. That means all 100 of the bikers survive to reach their destination, happy and healthy. And they all live happily ever after. That's what you're thinking, right? It's a great outcome for the 100 bikers that went northeast. But what about the 10 that went northwest and survived the accident?
Huh? Wouldn't it be 9 people? I mean, S's mind went back in time, right?
Right. Okay, 9 people then. What happens to the reality they were living?
Get it
Does
right,
it just
Junpei.
disappear when S changes the past? It's not as if it was only bad things that happened during that 10,000-mile trip.
You were
Maybe one of them
Junpei
fell
once,
in
so
love with a
Ten
woman
Miyoji
working
is a
at gas
past
station
you.
they stopped at and had a child. Maybe one of them picked up a homeless kid who joined them on their adventure.
Hey.
That 10,000-mile journey would be full of stories, friendships, farewells, romances. The loss of those 90 lives is horrible and unfortunate. But what would rewriting their history mean? The 9 who survived lived full lives. How can it be right to just erase all that? The survivors overcame their own misery and loss and made the best they could of the hand they'd been dealt. Isn't that worth something? Isn't that the best thing that humans can aspire to? Is there really any point to a world where everything is happy?
Well, you really don't agree with your girlfriend, do you?
Are people who struggle for a better life just idiots? Being human is about fighting, even when it seems hopeless, and finding happiness, even in a world that hates it.
Your mindsets are so different.
I never should have saved this girl's life.
You're saying that's worthless. If you're saying rewriting the past will erase all these other timelines, then whatever God wrote those rules can
No, say it.
I'm just not going to accept that, all right? You get it?
If Sigma changes the past, then you and Quark will never meet.
Is he right?
No.
No, it's not going to happen. We're here right now. This is reality. Even if Sigma does change the past, we're not just going to disappear or something.
Oh, Then that means we get to stay together?
Good.
Thanks, kid.
I understand how you feel. Why you want to return to Earth is clear. You have lives there, I imagine. There are likely people waiting for you.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Have you already said goodbye to the others?
Bye, Luna, Alice, and Clover all saw us off. We told them we'd see them again someday, and then came here.
They were the only people you want to say goodbye to?
Well, no point saying anything to Dio.
Besides, he's asleep. You were asleep too.
Sorry, but we didn't really know much about you.
You have a point. Akane was in the armor in this timeline, after all. What about Sigma?
Well, he's not really Mr. Sigma anymore.
Of course. He is Dr. Klein now that his consciousness has returned.
Yeah, but more importantly, he's the guy who brought us all here. Not a lot of warm feelings there, you know?
Yep.
And Akane?
Never mind her. She's just like him.
Yeah.
Not the Akane I knew.
Oof.
She must have seen some pretty awful things over the years. Hell, she might not even be human anymore. But the Akane Kurashiki I know isn't here. She's not anywhere.
Damn.
Spicy.
In the end,
Moonbase breakup.
Clover and I were just pawns. Pawns to be used and then gotten rid of. Still, it's not like we were completely resentful. We had to be here to help change the past. That part's easy to understand. But
kinda sucks, though. I mean, Sigma and Bai have it easy. They get to go back to December 25th in 2028. They'll stop the Radical Six and save the world, and then they'll have a nice, normal future to look forward to. In other words, they get to go back to Point E and just enjoy history like it was supposed to happen.
But we don't. We're stuck with Point C as our starting point.
Like what you were saying.
Yeah.
You told us about Tenmyoji's story, right? The one with the motorcycles? It would be like if Alice and I were kidnapped right before the intersection. Then whoever grabbed us takes us to wherever the bikers are going, 10,000 miles to the northwest.
Don't get us wrong. We know why we had to be here. Without us, S's consciousness wouldn't have been able to go back to right before the intersection.
If that couldn't happen, then the fate of those 90 dead bikers would be sealed. But
it's still not the best situation for those of us left in the Northwest. We're stuck in the reality where the 90 bikers died.
Are we just supposed to go live on Earth? It's a wasteland now. And what about our friends and families? We left a whole world behind 45 years ago.
Yep, that's all real fucked.
Even if it is for the greater good?
It just doesn't seem fair, does it?
Yeah, it's a little bit much.
So we went and talked to the old lady.
She told us that there is one way.
One way we could get back to the past.
Let's say you do go back to the past. Wouldn't that cause your minds to get thrown back here? That seemed to be how Sigma and Phi's jumps worked, at least.
Yes, you're right.
But this is different.
Different? How so?
From what she said, it sounds like there's a way we can send our bodies back in time, too.
That's ridiculous. It would create a paradox. How could you have two Clovers and two Alices at the same time?
I love that he talks like the K we knew does.
I was addressing that I was thinking that before.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
How they were able to do that. How whoever this is.
Thanks, Troy Baker.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
It sounded familiar, but I didn't want to assume because
I'm 99% sure on that one. If I'm wrong, I'll eat my socks.
And Travis were able to emulate the same fucking tone.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Anyway.
But that wouldn't happen.
Akane says there's a way around that.
How on earth does she plan to do that?
Schrodinger's
cat.
Akane, what the fuck are you planning? What nightmare are you causing?
I figured you'd come here eventually.
That threw me. Fuck that. Fucking hit me like whiplash.
Where's Dr. Klein?
God.
Luna said you were with him.
He said he was tired, so he's off resting right now.
We are.
There's a bedroom at the end of the hallway. He's in there if you're curious. Oh, right. He told me to turn on this hologram projector thing when you showed up. Want me to start it?
I don't want to talk to you, son, clone.
Me?
Sure. So I made this message for you. It's about termites.
Glad to see you. There isn't anything in particular that I have to tell you. However,
I imagine there are a great number of things weighing on your mind.
Hi, Sojiro.
This is what happens in the reality where Sojiro can't have success in his coffee shop.
Unfortunately, my circumstances make that an impossibility.
So this whole time you should have been doing your Sojiro voice.
It's
this
fine.
whole
Whatever.
time.
It's fine. That would have been fun, but who would have fucking guessed that?
Yeah.
Everything I know, Phi should also know. I have instructed her to answer any questions anyone might have. Anyone other than Kyle, that is.
Oh. Oh, you leave me out of the loop.
Damn.
What does he mean, other than Kyle?
Who knows? Is there anything you want to ask?
Oh, right, well, I guess I may as well cut to the chase. Just who are you, Phi?
I'm not Superman, that's for sure.
You she jump
said that
like
before.
And I'm not Batman or Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Oh,
there she
yeah.
goes.
Or a
Okay,
merman
yeah.
or a wolfman.
There she
I'm not a
goes.
Brahmin or Kamen or Ramen. I'm not a Cayman either, so you really don't need to worry about anything.
Please don't dodge the question. About 5 hours ago, Akane attacked you with a knife. That triggered something which sent your mind back to the past, correct?
Yeah, we need to get... Please.
Yeah, what did you do?
Specifically, you were sent to Point D, April 13th, 2029. On that date, your body was already in Akane's custody. Although by then you were in cold sleep. You wouldn't have regained consciousness, but your mind was now inhabiting that body. That pod was your home for 45 years. You slept there, frozen, until the time was right. Then on January 25th, 2074, you were finally thawed out, even though you didn't wake up. Still unconscious, you were carried to the AB room. That was when your consciousness changed bodies again. A version of you from December 25th, 2028 arrived, pushing you out and sending you back to December 25th, 2028. This is when you finally woke up. In 2028, you found and joined forces with Sigma, whose older mind was inhabiting his younger body. Together, you attempted to infiltrate the Mars mission test facility. Unfortunately, your plan failed.
Never thought on
The
that.
Radical
but...
Six did escape on New Year's Eve. That failure determined the path you followed. Instead of going along the line that branches out to the right from Point E, you headed straight to Point D. Point D being April 13th of the following year. That was the day that you made your way to Akane's hideout and asked to be put into one of the treatment pods. Another consciousness enters your body around that time from the future. It is, of course, the version of you that left your body when Akane attacked you in the garden. This caused the two versions of you to swap places, and you moved 45 years into the future, where you woke up on the garden floor.
Fun.
That put you on the line that comes here. So if we discount the time you spent in cold sleep, for you only 3.5 months have passed since that happened. That being when you were sent back into the past from the garden. Have I missed anything?
No, everything you talked about you got right.
My brain's melting.
There's a lot
What
to
do you mean by
process
that?
there.
It doesn't help that this very calm sounding voice just made me zone out
Oops.
during
Kind of
that.
an unknown variable in this equation. You could think of me as a kind of X factor. It's taken me the last 3.5 months to understand it.
And I haven't understood
That's a TV
anything
show.
in the last 3.5 seconds. Could you please explain?
It's kind of like the relationship between classical mechanics and modern physics.
God, my head hurts.
Strictly
Hang in there.
speaking, you can't combine velocities with v1 plus v2. v1 plus v2 divided by 1 plus v1 times v2 over c squared is the actual equation.
Phi, what the
Of course,
fuck?
the sort of velocities we encounter in day-to-day
Phi!
life don't come close
Stop!
to c squared, which is the speed of light.
Stop
squared.
it!
That means that
Go
1
back
some
to
help.
sleep.
times v2 divided by c squared
Go
is
back to
usually going
sleep.
to evaluate to something pretty close to 1.
Phi, go
Since
eat
that would be
more
dividing by 1,
pork,
it's usually
okay?
okay to just skip that step and use
I don't know if
v1
that was
as
you that did it or not. I don't think it is.
see what I'm
Go
saying?
try it. You liked
In
it.
most situations, it works, even if it isn't technically correct.
Shut the fuck
So you knew enough to get the stuff you were talking about right. As long as you stick to that, you won't run into any problems.
I don't quite understand.
She might as well have just went blah, 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 blah,
Kyle is
blah.
us.
In fact, I feel like you're dodging my questions.
So was that what you wanted to ask about?
No. What I really want to know is what happened between Christmas and New Year's Eve in 2028. You and Sigma infiltrated the Mars mission test site, didn't you?
Yes.
What happened there? How did Sigma lose his eye and both his arms? And why was Radical 6 in there in the first place? What could a deadly virus have to do with the simulated mission to space?
Sorry, but I can't tell you that.
Why?
Because it would change history. There is a history where the virus didn't escape. That's the line that goes to the right of point E. In that timeline, humanity isn't heading for annihilation, and Earth isn't red. The future is much brighter. But if I tell you what you're asking me right now, then that reality will disappear.
Oops.
You understand?
I don't. Why would all of that disappear if you told me what I want to know?
Because you're a problem as a
You're
clone.
about to go back to the past, right?
The past? Don't be silly. I can't do that.
Then where the hell did you learn all this stuff? I just listened to you tell me a bunch of things you shouldn't have known about. You were sleeping in the pod in the garden. You just woke up. So how can you know all this? You know my past. Sigma's past.
I passed the fuck out.
It's clone logic.
I shall give you your answer. You are not Kyle Climb. Your body is Kyle's, but your consciousness is not. Think about it. Do you really believe you are Kyle? Or could you be someone else entirely?
Then where is the real Kyle's consciousness?
Look, it's a question mark again.
Out when you entered.
Where'd he go?
Now, in a manner of speaking,
Where is he? What happened to him?
He has arrived at December 25th, 2028.
Yep. So I think we are, we were supposed to be. That's why we can experience this, is that we were supposed to be, or we are young Sigma. We're the Sigma we've always been.
Uh-huh.
But a little problem happened in our little cycle thanks to a clone being around. And instead the clone took our place. And we took the clone's place.
What?
I saw your brain for a second there. I'm like,
His consciousness has gone into a body from that time. I doubt you know how much the doctor loves Kyle. He raised him on his own. Kyle is irreplaceable. Do you really think he would go back to the past and leave Kyle behind here? I know what I told the others, that Kyle was Dr. Climb's spare, but that was not his only purpose. Kyle's consciousness is integral to what we are trying to accomplish. This
I think
new
you understand
mission
something that I
begins on
don't.
Christmas and ends on New Year's Eve, 2028. Its purpose will be to infiltrate the test facility and prevent the spread of the virus. For this to happen, Kyle is absolutely necessary.
And that is why he created him?
Yes.
So now that my consciousness has entered his body, the doctor has achieved his objective. Kyle has gone back to 2028 to participate in his mission.
Correct.
There's one thing that troubles me. Kyle was created before reaching point B from point D. That
I'm
means
completely
his body
lost
did
now.
not exist on Christmas in 2028.
It lost me.
Okay, so
I was hanging on by a fraction of a thread of a fishing line, and it snapped.
Okay, so you get that there are essentially two parallel times in a way, because there's an old Sigma and a young Sigma that bounce back and forth and switch.
Yeah.
And the point is that they're supposed to switch back and forth because the Sigma that understands and learns everything about, Radical 6 and all, is supposed to get sent back to infiltrate the...
And the young one has to get sent forward, or sent... Yeah.
The young one was sent forward a bit and then sent back
for 45 years, and then, yeah.
And so that was going as is.
That I barely understood. But Kyle?
So what happened and what Akane is explaining...
Who are we? What is going on? Who is question mark?
Question mark is, as you would know in the game, young Sigma.
So college
the Sigma we always play as.
Okay.
That is who is in Kyle's body right now. And I believe the reason we're about to understand for that is that if we were to just continue to be us, the loop would perpetrate all the time. There'd be no end to it because Sigma fails the game, as is said there. Like, we lost. We weren't able to do it correctly.
Yeah.
So the timeline exists. So, what old Sigma did, the evil Dr. Sigma, if you will, Zero Senior, Zero Senior created Kyle, the clone, that was supposed to be his alternate in case something happened. But that's not the point. By creating a clone, and what we're about to get on here with the fact that a body for Kyle didn't exist back in 2028, is that you're sending a variable that didn't exist before into the past. Kyle was created to literally say, fuck young Sigma, he's stuck here forever, instead of going back, and I'm sending my genetic son Kyle to take his place to be a new variable to create the new timeline. So literally, old Sigma / Zero Senior said, fuck young me, he's gonna be stuck here forever, and my son that I created, Kyle, is gonna go fix this.
Okay.
What don't you get about that?
Everything.
Kyle has taken our body. That's his job.
So Kyle is in the car now?
Kyle is the one that is in the car going to the Nevada test site, technically, in the past.
Does that... But we were the one in the car.
No, like I said, Zero Senior and us, we always go back and forth. In this branch of the universe.
Yeah.
We always fail. It's a back and forth flip-flop.
Right.
We always fail.
It's a doomed time loop.
Sigma never won.
Yeah.
So, Zero Senior had to create a new variable, which was a clone.
Like an escape pod.
A clone of himself.
It's like an escape pod. Is that a good way to put it?
No, because...
To get out of that...
Well, no, Zero Senior, old Sigma, and young Sigma are always fucked.
Okay.
That's always done. The only way to fix things is to add a new variable of someone who didn't exist in time before, which was Kyle, and send him back in time, which is why the body is perfectly matched to ours, because it was needed for the consciousness to switch back.
Okay.
The clone was created to create a new variable, and the rest of us are fucked. Hopefully...
Does that mean he has entered my body? Have we just switched places?
I suppose you could put it that way, yes.
That's ridiculous. What's going to happen to me? You telling me I have to spend the rest of my life here in this box, living in a borrowed body?
No, not at all. You can travel freely through time and space. You are an uncontrolled variable that entered our closed system. As such, the rules of this world do not apply to you.
I have no idea what...
Please don't try to play dumb. I know what you are. Surely you must know by now, too. You are about to go into the past and save the world. Phi and Sigma, even with all of his future knowledge, will need your help. Only you can right the horrible wrongs of our past. Only you can save the world.
There's no way I...
Yes, there is. You have to. Don't you want to know the truth? Don't you want to know what happened in between Christmas and New Year's Eve in 2028?
You know it.
Well, yes, I do, but
Then you must believe.
And you must buy Zero Time Dilemma.
Reality is shaped by what we believe reality should be. If observation can change the motion of a particle, then how is it odd to think that human thought can shape reality? Your will can change history. The world will be reshaped into the one you imagine.
My head hurts still. This game is literally giving me a fucking headache.
Remember what I've told you. Only
Why?
you can change history. Only you
Can prevent
can
forest
save
fires.
the world.
Only you can give me a headache this bad, Akane.
Oh my gosh.
Alternative and there's a semicolon. Was there always a semicolon?
No, I don't think there was always one.
Yeah, it was weird. God. Ow.
Alright, is that everything? I don't even know if that's the... I wonder if that's the bonus thing. But now I have to look to find out. Because I don't know if it's over or not yet. I have to see if we missed our things from...
I kind of hope it is. I can't take any more.
Oh, man.
Ugh.
Let me see.
My poor brain.
Yeah, I believe that is the bonus scene that people said. These people seem to believe. They're like, oh, and they got all the gold files for that, but that would seem to be the bonus right there at the end. That helps give...
Ha.
Okay, so I guess if your brain is too confused, then that's a little bit of non-canon chaos for you. Because it's supposedly like almost canon, but not really canon. So I think it's supposed to make you feel good instead of just being told that, you know, you're just completely
It's
fucked.
like, oh no, the failure was the fix. There was no fix. It was just always failure.
But the important thing is the timeline switch of the old Sigma and young Sigma, and as I was gonna say, but I figured that was gonna end at some point. The where I feel like the end of this all will come down to especially since we know that there is a final sequel, the Zero Time Dilemma, where
Can't wait.
I think that's going to kick in with the beginning of. I think that's going to be the December 25th. Thing. Are you good over there?
I'm like that one clip of the little kitten holding the size of its head going, meow.
Don't worry, everything's done now. Everything is over. We've begun
You know
our
what I'm
journey to
talking
fix the
about?
world. I think so.
That's me right now.
So, what I think is essentially going to happen is that we're going to kick into the Sigma that is sent back to fix everything. Because
just give up. Just leave me be.
I don't.
Let me. Leave
At
me
this
to
point,
die.
I was just because I don't get why you're not understanding this,
All I can focus on is how much my head hurts right now.
which is not good because you need to finish out this series by talking about it.
Oh God!
That's what we do at the end of every series, especially when it's like this, is talking about the end of the mystery. We figured it out, Scoob.
What a screen to look at.
No, this is the screen to look at right here. All of this.
Jesus Christ.
This is what you look at right here. This is a nightmare.
Ugh.
But like I said, I think that we're going to kick into.
Chikoshi is a madman.
But we're going to kick into whenever we play Zero Time Dilemma. It's going to take us back to Christmas. I think the reason why Sigma, Dr. Climb, I said it right this time, was pulled into everything is because he was one of the people that was kidnapped for whatever's happening in that test facility, which, as they said, they're in there were traps and things. Sigma blew his arms off. But I think we're going to be sent
and
in
lost
there.
an eye.
And we lost an eye. But I think we're going to be sent in there now that we have our time traveling capabilities to try and fix the world and see what happened inside that test base all those many, many years ago and
But
save the world.
Who is we? Because
I would
it got
assume
turned from Kyle to question mark.
Well, that's if that is what it's supposed to be, that is the alternate end that is actually like not even fully canon per se, from what I've heard, is that it's just kind of an extra thing that's there. So you don't have to worry about half that information. I'm sure someone will fix us in the comments on that one.
So everything that happened was useless.
No, what do you mean?
I mean, because like what Junpei said, like what happened and shit and all that.
Well, it's that's how you define useless. Like I said way earlier on, this timeline is always fucked.
Mm-hmm.
But Dr. Klein had to do everything that he's done to create a new timeline. I think that was the point of that alternate ending, was to explain that like everything in this world is fucked, but there is a world where everything is normal. The world where they succeeded.
Yeah.
You know, this is always going to be the world 10,000 miles down the highway because you can't fix that. This time has always happened.
Mm-hmm.
The point behind everything that Dr. Klein was doing was to create a new timeline where everything was fine.
So a new tree.
A new tree of the world, yes. Imagine that there was a line way off on the right, way over there.
Floating in space.
where nothing bad ever happens.
Okay.
That's what the goal is, to make a new timeline where everything is fine. But all these timelines still exist.
Yeah.
Including the one on the right where everything worked, but the world is still fucked because you can't change that.
So weird how that's the Phi ending when it doesn't tell us anything about
I
Phi.
know, it's a little something, but yeah, we still don't necessarily have the full answer of what she was involved in. But the only thing I can assume by that is that Phi was another person that was involved in the secret nonary game. I assume we're going to learn about whatever happened inside the moon base, if you can even call that a nonary game, or is it just a game of death apparently
the
run
moon
by
base?
Or
you mean the Mars mission?
The Mars mission test.
Yeah, the little test they were doing.
Where we're going to learn, that's probably where we're going to learn, get ready for a lot more of the Myrmidons and Brother and Left, because they're the ones that cause all
God,
this.
is Dio going to come? Are we going to see another fucking clone of him?
I think we'd probably meet Brother or one of the clones of Brother, because that would be way back then where all that happened. But I assume that's where we're going to get all that, because
I just don't want to see his face.
If Radical 6 broke out from that test site, then that means that the Myrmidons and Free the Soul are involved in that whole thing. But there's only one way to find out, and that's by playing Zero Time Limit, which we'll probably hit at some point after Persona 3 Reload, because that's all we're going to be doing for a while.
Yeah.
But
because that's a long game.
I think I've got everything sorted out for you. Do you have any further questions?
No, for my own sanity, no.
I also mean, because I can fix anything that may be hurting your brain if you have questions that are still hurting your brain.
Well, no, it's not so much hurting, like oh, I don't get it. It's just I am in physical pain right now.
It was just information overload.
Yes.
You're going through the fast forward situation of Sigma and the security office and everyone else with Radical 6. But I think that's all we have to say for now.
Oh, do we want to look at the files that we did get? Because people are hoping that we would.
We might, but that's going to be a lot to go through. So we're not going to be doing that right now.
Because we didn't get a lot of them.
We got a decent number of them.
Some.
But that's still way too much to go through right now.
Yeah.
So we'll deal with that another time, if at any point. But you know what? That's enough for now. Thank you all for watching.
Luna is my wife.
Luna, that's all. That's the biggest takeaway from this
and
game
she's
is
okay.
that Luna exists.
She's okay.
She is okay, and she will always be okay because she's an android and
fine.
she can live forever.
She's a golem. Get it right. Call my wife by
Thank
her
you for
correct,
enjoying the series,
her
everybody.
Correct,
we'll see you next
humanoid
time
form.
with the next one. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Holy
What a time.
Jesus.
Dilemma? No.
Oh my God, what a name drop.
Jesus Christ. Also, fuck you, Dio.